So close, yet so far. That is the only way to describe the 2020 season for the Giants. At 6-10, it does not seem like you should be playing for a playoff spot in Week 17. Yet Sunday Night Football, the Giants' hopes and dreams were placed in the hands of the Philadelphia Eagles. In what is one of the strangest games I've ever witnessed, Giants fans' hopes and dreams were crushed. Another season, another heartbreak. But cheer up, my friends. There is a lot to look forward to this offseason. In the words of Dave Gettleman, the New York Giants are not far, and they're going to fix this. Well, I may not be Dave Gettleman, but I have a plan. Let's get into it. For the Giants, the first thing we should look at this offseason is the cuts. Spotrac projects the salary cap to be about $190 million, but there are several key cuts that the Giants can make to clear up cap space. The Giants have invested a lot into the offensive line since Dave Gettleman has been general manager, and it has mostly paid off. So we think the Giants should roll with the young guys and let their starting O-line next year be Andrew Thomas at left tackle, Will Hernandez and Shane Lemieux at either guard spot, Nick Gates at center, and Matt Parrott at right tackle. Two key names left off this list are Nate Solder and Kevin Zeitler. By cutting these two, the Giants save $18 million. It is rumored that Nate Solder is likely to retire, but whether he is cut or retires, the cap hit is about the same. The Giants should definitely look to bring in some veterans and add mid-round picks as O-line depth. Another cut the Giants can make is Golden Tate. At this point in his career, Tate is not as good as he once was, and definitely is not worth the money he's making. They saved just over $6 million by cutting him. The Giants can also cut guys like Levine Toilolo, Spencer Pulley, David Mayo, Cody Core, and other guys much further down the depth chart. The Giants can save anywhere between $25 to $30 million of cap space with these moves. If they wanted to, they could also look to restructure contracts of guys like Blake Martinez and James Bradbury. But this comes down to if the player is willing to accept and if the team is willing to backload the contract. I can't specifically say what happens, but I definitely expect Kevin Abrams to work his magic and get creative with these players and create even more cap space. One trade we feel the Giants should make this offseason is to move on from Evan Ingram. Ingram is super athletic and has a really high ceiling. We've seen flashes of this, but never much consistency. Throughout his career, he's had problems staying healthy and catching the football. At this point, it may be more of a confidence issue than anything. That's incredibly difficult to fix. Therefore, it's probably best for both sides to move on. We have the Giants trading Evan Ingram to the Arizona Cardinals for a third-round pick. This will save the Giants $6 million in cap space. In his limited time, Caden Smith looked like he'd be a starting tight end in this league. And if not, the Giants should definitely invest mid-round picks into the position. Maybe even Kyle Pitts early on. But with that being said, let's start going through re-signing. There are three notable free agents the Giants will need to make decisions on. The three are Leonard Williams, Dalvin Tomlinson, and Wayne Gallman. We'll start with Leonard Williams. Williams transformed this Giants defense this year and made it one of the better units in the league by being a key contributor to the best and most consistent pass rush the Giants have had since 2016. Williams truly broke out this past season with 11.5 sacks and 42 pressures. Williams has stayed healthy his entire career, but this has been his first truly great season. We have the Giants re-signing Williams to a 4-year, $68 million contract. This means there probably isn't room for the Giants to re-sign Tomlinson. Tomlinson is a great run stuffer, but unfortunately for him, that position is very replaceable. He's a great locker room guy and will be missed, but the Giants will be better off spending that money elsewhere. Same could be said for Wayne Gallman. After seeing Saquon Barkley went down with an ACL tear in Week 2, Wayne Gallman won over the hearts of Giants fans. Again, he is very replaceable. The Giants would be better off drafting a backup running back in the middle rounds. The Wayne train will probably land in a committee backfield somewhere else in the league. And obviously these aren't the only three guys, but these are the three most notable ones. And I'm not going to keep you waiting here all day. Let's get into the fun stuff. Free agency. The biggest needs for the Giants now would be wide receiver, tight end, edge rusher, cornerback 2, coverage linebacker, and obviously some depth. Now, with their limited cap space, they won't be able to hit on everything, but free agency is used to set you up for the draft. The Giants' biggest need would be wide receiver, but we honestly don't think any of the big name wide receivers will be headed to New York via free agency, at least the Giants. We have the Giants signing Shaq Barrett to a 4-year, $68 million contract. This would be a huge acquisition for the Giants, as they have lacked a premier edge rusher for quite some time. He will take this defense to the next level. The Giants should also look to upgrade the backup quarterback position. Daniel Jones has missed 4 career games due to injury, and it should have been 5. Colt McCoy will forever be remembered and forever be loved, but I think the Giants should look elsewhere. The Giants should look to bring in A.J. McCarron on a 1-year, $2 million contract. McCarron has been a solid backup throughout the league for most of his career, going as far as to almost win a playoff game with the Bengals not too long ago. He'll serve as a high-quality backup to Daniel Jones. Obviously, this isn't it. The Giants will definitely look in to bring some depth acquisitions, but we're not going to talk about all of those. Instead, let's get into the draft. With the 11th pick in the draft, the Giants will probably look to add some playmakers to their offense. After striking out on the big-name free agent wide receivers and focusing their cap on re-signing others and solidifying the defense, the Giants should look to draft Jaylen Waddle. Waddle will allow the Giants to be more creative within their offensive scheme. Just give Waddle the ball in space via screens, sweeps, and short passes, and letting him use his electric speed to make Danny Dimes look good. He could even stretch the field for Dimes. The problem with the Giants this past season has been creating separation, and Waddle can do a lot of that with his explosiveness. With the 43rd pick in the draft, the Giants should fill arguably their biggest hole on their defense, the cornerback 2. There were some games where Isaac Yiadom would play lights out, and then others where he just looked totally lost. Julian Love showed some promise playing on the outside at the end of the year, but there's some questions in his man coverage ability, and he did not prove to be a reliable option. So instead, the Giants should look to draft Tyson Campbell. Campbell is a guy who would fit exactly what the Giants do on defense, and would be perfect on the opposite side of James Bradberry. There's enough depth at the position for him not to start right away, but he could definitely be the future of the position. At this point in the draft, it becomes incredibly difficult to predict the specific players teams will draft, but it is still important to look at needs. In the middle and late rounds, the Giants should draft a coverage linebacker, a backup running back, maybe even a tight end, but definitely just some overall depth, especially on the offensive and defensive line. So at the end of the year, the Giants roster will look a little something like this. Overall, this Giants team is built for success. The defense showed last year they could be among the top units in the league and only improve with the acquisitions of Shaq Barrett and Tyson Campbell. The offense also has potential to be explosive. When healthy, Saquon Barkley is one of the best backs in the league. Giants fans have to hope he makes a full recovery from that awful injury. When Sterling Shepard is healthy, he has shown he could be among the top slot wide receivers in the league and can move back into that role with Golden Tate gone. Darius Slayton should continue to improve, and Jaylen Waddle offers the ability to stretch the field and make plays for this team. The O-line will only improve as these guys mature and get experience playing with each other. At the end of the day, this team's success depends on Daniel Jones and how he progresses. I wish I knew, but I don't. This is a make or break year for him, and only time will tell. But I hope you enjoyed. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. If you agree or disagree, what would you do with the Giants offseason? We'd love to hear your thoughts. So if you enjoyed, drop a like, please hit the subscribe button. It helps us out a ton. You wouldn't even know it. It only takes a second of your time, and it's free. Everybody loves free. That about does it for today. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.